2023 is halfway over. What has the housing market looked like in the Tampa area for the first half of the year? The numbers do not lie, and I think you'll be surprised. Hey everybody, Melanie Atkinson here, Realtor with Smith & Associates in beautiful Tampa, Florida. Today, we are going to silence all of the noise about the housing market in general and talk specific numbers to really see what has happened with the housing market over the last 6 months in the Central Florida area. The source of the data that I'm going to use was Stellar MLS, which is the MLS that we use in the Tampa area, and this includes data from about 20 counties in Florida, mostly the central and west central areas. Now I'll start by hitting you with a big one first. The average sales prices are up 8.3% from January of 2023 to June of 2023. So far this year, there has been a small increase every month, and there was a year-over-year increase in the average sales price when comparing them to the same months of last year, which we thought was peak pricing. Surprised? Yeah, I was too.
Oh.
But that is only one data point, and I definitely like to dive deeper to get a full picture. I'm going to run through a whole bunch of statistics, and then I'm going to give you my interpretation of what is going on and why. When I look at our data charts, the percentage that jumps out the most is the increase of average days on market. For example, when you compare May of 2022 and May of 2023, there is a 214% increase of average days on market, from 14 days to 44 days. Houses are definitely staying on the market longer. Another impressive jump comes when you look at number of active listings. The number of active listings for the first 6 months of 2023 was 61.5% more than the average number of active listings from the first half of last year. So buyers have a lot more houses to choose from. Okay, so those stats are starting to feel like they're in the buyer's favor, right? So let's look at some more. Next, we will look into the big daddy of real estate data, total number of sales. When people talk about the real estate market slowing or speeding up or crashing, this is the number I want to know because it shows you how many pieces of real estate has changed hands. What is the activity in the market regardless of price? Now, just another quick reminder that this is just data from Stellar MLS region in Florida, and as we all know, real estate is very local, so these numbers may be extremely different depending on where you live. So the 2023 total number of sales is down 12.5% in comparison to the first 6 months of 2022. Now, if you would have asked me before I looked at the charts to guess what that number was, I actually would have guessed it was down more than that. So I guess I'll take that. We've talked about number of sales, prices, time on market, but what about financing and interest rates and number of cash buyers? As we all well know at this point, the interest rates started 2023 above 6%, and that was about double of what they started 22 with. Thumbs down for that. But we also knew that was coming because interest rates started hitting those 20-year highs late last year. At the time of this filming, average 30-year fixed mortgage interest rates are right around 7%. In this area of Florida, we had a tremendous amount of cash buyers over the past couple of years. Some were buying vacation homes, others had made so much money when selling their primary home in another state that they were able to pay cash, and a whole bunch of them were corporate buyers, either looking to quickly flip a property or use it as a rental. So are there still as many cash buyers out there? The short answer is no. There has been a 6.1% decrease of cash buyers in the first half of this year in comparison to last year. And get this, there has been a 6.5% increase of FHA buyers this year and a 1.5% increase of VA buyers this year. I bet you guys know what I'm going to say about that, right? Okay, that's enough numbers for now. Let's talk about what all of this means. First things first, on the ground level, the number of buyers and sellers has absolutely slowed down this year. The number of buyers reaching out needing to relocate is much less than it was over the past couple of years. But we very much expected that slowdown. The pace of relocation during COVID years was way out of whack with normal migration. so we didn't expect that to continue indefinitely. What has been more interesting is that homeowners don't seem to want to sell. Why that's happening is simple. They don't want to be buyers or renters. It is far cheaper for them to keep their current home at their low locked-in interest rate and their low property tax values than it is for them to move. So when we have sellers, they're typically moving because they have to, because of work or a major change in their household size. So let's bring in the data now. If things are slower, why have average sales prices gone up? Well, that's easy. The pretty houses in desirable areas are still selling quickly and for high prices because people are still moving here. We have very little inventory of high quality homes in highly desirable areas. So when they come up, they go quickly. And here's the basic sentiment that I hear from buyers. If I'm gonna have to pay peak pricing with high interest rates, then I want the house to be exactly what I want. I don't want to be paying peak pricing and do a bunch of renovations. And I definitely don't blame those buyers. Getting any construction projects done in the past 3 years has been a nightmare. So now let's talk about the large increase in active listings and average days on market. Why has that happened, but prices haven't gone down? Well, here's my general rule. When ugly houses stop selling quickly, that's when you know the market has slowed down. Now, obviously, it's a bit more complicated than that, but it speaks to desirability. Houses that have factors that make them less desirable, such as location, school district, condition of home, cost of insurance, overinflated list price, any sort of objection, are the ones that are the first to start lingering on the market when things start shifting. The fact that houses are staying on the market longer and we have more listings tells me several things. 1, there are less buyers out there. 2, buyers don't have the same sense of urgency because they believe they will have options even if they miss out on a house. 3, buyers are choosing to stay out of multiple offer situations. I have buyers that won't see a house until it's been on the market for a couple of weekends because they don't want to get caught up in the frenzy of a new listing. Buyers have higher expectations for the condition of homes and won't settle. 5, sellers and listing agents are setting the initial list prices too high, especially if that house has obvious objections. And 6, a lot of small investors and large corporations want to buy low-priced properties to use them as flips or rentals. When these types of buyers leave the market, they aren't gobbling up this inventory that needs work that the average buyer doesn't want to deal with. So those houses linger. Well, then the obvious question becomes, if these houses are lingering, doesn't that open it up for opportunities for regular buyers, most notably first-time home buyers? Yes and no. Let's talk about the yes part first. If we go back to the cash buyer statistic I shared earlier, we see a decrease of cash buyers by 6.1% and an increase of FHA buyers by 6.5%. My hypothesis is that a lot of the large corporate buyers reduced the number of cash purchases this year, which made it easier for buyers using FHA financing to get these lower priced properties. That would make me very happy. I wish they would have had the opportunity to do that last year when rates were lower, but I will take it as a win for now. Now for the no. A lot of buyers want fixer-uppers, but the reality of them can be very costly, time-consuming, and you may not be able to get financing due to the property being uninsurable. There are lending options that will allow you to roll in renovations with your loan, and I'm happy to talk about those in a follow-up episode. However, a lot of buyers just get overwhelmed with these properties, especially when you start adding in other costs like insurance and utilities. I find that a lot of my buyers will migrate towards new construction homes that they don't have to do a lot of work on. Okay, so let's summarize all of this. Yes, the market has slowed down, 12.5% to be exact, from the first half of last year. No, the average sales prices has not gone down. In fact, it's gone up 8.3%. Yes, houses are staying on the market longer, a lot longer in some cases, but not the most desirable ones in the best areas. You will see some price adjustments if houses stay on the market for a long time. Our inventory is still really low because homeowners don't want to sell their houses. Interest rates are near 20-year highs, and we don't have any indication that they will go down at this point. But buyers that are using FHA loans and VA loans are more successful at purchasing properties this year, which is great. Oh, and one more thing, because people are always interested in distressed sales. As of the end of July 2023, there are only 50 properties on the market in my main 3-county area around Tampa that are short sales or foreclosures. That is a tiny fraction of our inventory. I feel like I just gave you guys a bunch of bad news, but yet if you already own a house in Florida, I gave you good news. That is what the numbers are telling us though, so we will leave it up to the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Feel free to put them below, and if you aren't a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. If you're looking to buy or sell a house in the Tampa Bay area, please reach out to us on my website. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.